You need to fall in love with problem solving. Every single day that you wake up, there will be another problem out in front of you, something that you don't like, the way you feel, the way you look, something with work, with your relationships, anything. Hundreds of millions of problems. I've just come home after a 7 hour shift. It's 2:30 p.m. I've got about 3.5, 4 hours until I need to get back out because I've got boxing this evening, and I've got way more work to do than what I can squeeze in this time. But you know what? I love it. I love it, and I'm going to get all the work I need done. You know why? Because it's about problem solving. Do you think that if you woke up today and had zero problems, that you would live a good life? No, you wouldn't. I know this because there have been plenty of times where, okay, on the surface, maybe looking from the outside, other people looking in thinking I would have had many problems, but actually, me growing up didn't give a shit about life. I did not care who I was, where I was going. I woke up day by day and I had zero problems because I didn't care. I didn't care. Didn't care about my future, didn't care where I was going, didn't care about the job I had, didn't care how much money I was making, didn't care how I looked, didn't care about how I felt. I was just floating through life, and that's why I went through eventually so much struggles, because it got to a point in my life where I was like, what am I doing? I'm 19, I'm 20, I'm 21, and I have nothing to show for it. There are 21-year-olds with absolutely insane bodies, insane physiques, insane mindsets, insane amounts of money that they've made themselves, and I'm here doing nothing with my life. Why? Because I didn't want to solve any problems back then. And I didn't even know it either. But that was my issue, is that I would work all week at a job that I didn't like. I'd wake up on the weekend, be excited because I'm not working, get absolutely off my rocker, drunk as, and then go out, get pissed, come back home, late at night. I remember my cab journeys when I was really drunk. I used to deep it with myself. I used to say, really? Really? You're on your way home, you can't even pull a girl, you can't even get a kiss at a club, and you are who you think you are deep down, but you're no one. You are a no one. When you walk into the club, people need to know who you are. People need to feel the presence that you have. This is the conversations that I had with myself when I was drunk, because it was a true hard conversation that I could never have with myself when I was sober. Right? And then I'd go home, and then I'd wake up in the morning, in the afternoon, or midday, whatever, and I'd just be so lazy, so lousy throughout the whole day and do absolutely nothing. Do nothing. And I felt like shit. You know why I felt like shit? I felt like shit because I was being unproductive. Not because I had a hangover, not because I drank too much, not because I haven't eaten any breakfast, because the day after drinking so much alcohol meant that I was doing nothing. And men are inherently made to do something. Not just to do something, but to problem solve. And that's why you need to understand that this is the kind of things that you must fall in love with. When there's a problem out in front of you, don't shy away from it. You need to go at it full effing pelt. And I say effing because I'm trying not to swear. But you need to go at it. You need to do everything you can in order to find or come up with a solution to whichever problem you have. Now, I had many problems, at this stage of my life, but all I needed to do was attack just one of them. And for me at the time, a problem would be me not being able to be consistent at the gym. It was a shame, because if I was consistent, I would have had the physique I have now 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, because I started going to the gym about 15 years ago, some crazy stuff like that. So I needed to come up with a solution, and the solution was, no matter what, you're going to the gym for a minimum 3 days a week. And I actually started doing that, and then I said to myself, do you know what? I need to go to the gym 5, 6 days a week, because that's what gets me in the right frame of mind. I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, yo, I look bad, I look awful. 21 years old, and this is what you look like, this is what you have to show for. You think you're this big person, you think, people are going to respect you, you're going to walk into a club and people are going to feel your presence. You can't even eat the right foods. You can't even hit a protein target. Wake up, man. Wake up. Deep down you are this big person and you're going so far in life, but then you've got nothing to show for it. You got absolutely zero. All it takes is a little bit of discipline for you to eat the right foods, for you to go to the gym a couple days a week, and you can't even show up for yourself. And how are you going to expect other people to respect you? I was with my girl the other day and we were in the kitchen. She opens up a jar and I'm like, no, what are you doing? This is my jar. And what the jar symbolizes is every single time a problem occurs, you can't open a jar, you need to be the one to fix it, and again, to come up with the solution. You need to look at it this way, right? Problems are good. Problems is the only thing that's going to allow you to make progress in your life. Because if you've woken up this morning, tomorrow morning, with everything you've ever wanted, well, that's it. You've completed it. And once you've completed the game, there is nothing else left to do. I used to think, if I just win the lottery, I'll live a great life. No, you won't. No, you won't. It's not about winning the lottery. It's not about having the physique. It's about the lessons that you learn along the way. It's about becoming. It's about being on a mission every single day. Me building this physique is nice because on the outside it looks like, this guy's got a good body, but no. It's about the lessons that it teaches me every single day. It's 2:30 p.m. I am starving. I have not eaten yet because I have been busy. And I know that if I eat right now, then I'm not going to be as productive. And I've got work to do. And I'm getting this video done even though I don't have the time. Why? Because I love to problem solve. I'm currently weighing about 71 kilo. I was weighing 90 kilo at one point. I went on a purposeful bulk. Didn't realize how fat I really got. If you look through my Instagram, which if you don't follow me, at Itayarvats, I got really fat. I didn't realize how fat I was. But when it got to the end of my bulk, I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, yo, I need to lose weight, need to lose 10 kilo. Lost 10 kilo, got down to 80 kilo. I was like, yes, I'm lean, finally. And then at 80 kilo, I was like, do you know what, actually, I can't really see my abs that well. Let me lose more weight. And every time I wanted to lose more weight, I didn't see this as, I've got to lose weight. Oh no, I've got to start decreasing the amount of calories. I've got to... No, I didn't get upset with the situation. I got fired up with it. I was like, yes, this is another problem for me to solve in this life. Because every single day that you can solve a new issue, a new problem, what happens is you become a stronger person physically, mentally, and spiritually. And this is the way to live your best life. It's by getting up and getting after it. And if you've been watching my stuff, this is what I say in every single video because this is what it's about. But that's why when you find yourself in a situation that you don't like, you see that as a good thing. Not a bad thing, not a sad thing, not something that you have to beat yourself up for because you got yourself in that situation. Although sometimes it is good because that allows you to be filled with regret and then gives you that spark, that motivation to then figure out what your goal is and then write down what the actions are and then do the actions every single day to get to the goal. But you see it as something that is the best thing that's ever happened to you. You being where you are now, it is the best thing that's ever happened to you. I always think of this, right? Always in hindsight, when you go through an issue, you can look back and you can be like, yeah, that's why it happened to me. Always. In the moment, you never understand why certain things happen, but in hindsight, it's very easy to be like, I learned that lesson. Sometimes you never learn a lesson, but you know why those are the best ones? Because number one, that shows how much faith you have, because you can go through the shit, go through a bad situation, still be happy that it happened. But number two, it's also good because what I always think about is, okay, I went through this, and in the future, I'm going to have children and they're going to go through the exact same thing. Or if they do happen to go through the exact same thing or a similar thing, I know what to tell them. I know how to help them navigate through the situation because I went through it myself. You have to go through it in order to give the advice. It's as simple as that. And so the bad things that happen to you, if you're 20, I'm 27, if you're 27 and you're still out of shape, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. You know, it's a shame and you should be further ahead in life. You should hold higher standards for yourself, but that's a good thing because now you have the ability to go from where you are, your current position, to work as hard as you can and get your way out of that situation and build the physique and the mind, the mentality and the life that you want. You can do that. You have the power to do that. And you can do that and you will do that if you just set your mind to it and if you understand that you being in this situation is a beautiful thing. It's amazing. It's amazing. Fall in love with the problems. Now I want you to imagine that you're in a film. You ever seen The Truman Show? This one guy, Jim Carrey, is in The Truman Show and his name is something Truman and he's in a series, I think, and it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. It's an ongoing series. There's not one episode, it's a constant episode, right? And everyone around him is the cast. He doesn't know that. He's just living his life. But everything that happens to him, it's all cultivated by the producers, the directors, whatever you call it, right? Now, I need you to think that you're in the same situation. You're in the Truman Show, but just put your name there. I'm in the Arvats Show. If your last name's Daniels, you're in the Daniels Show. If your last name's Cohen, you're in the Cohen Show. If your last name's whatever, doesn't matter. That's your show. And everything that happens to you is cultivated by the man upstairs. 100%, 100% of the time. But the thing is, he can only do so much. And what I mean by that is, just like in the Truman Show, the cast get told to do certain things and the directors tell them to do it, but sometimes Mr. Truman, Jim Carrey, decided to do something that nobody would have guessed, right? Now at the moment, you're living your life in the way that, is seemingly kind of normal. No one really expects you to do anything differently. You're living your life like normal. If you woke up tomorrow and said, I'm changing my life around completely, that would be out of the ordinary. But that's what I need you to do. Because then you surprise him, the man upstairs, who cultivates all of this, and he starts fitting life around you and your perspective change of that. Now you are going to get up and get after it. So you need to flip the perspective and be like, okay, this is my movie, this is my film, this is my series, right? God is the one that cultivates it all. And so now he realizes that actually I'm going to stop being lazy, I'm going to stop blaming people, I'm going to stop being upset with myself or where I am, and I'm going to get up and I'm going to get after it. He's now going to hand you more problems. But remember what we said, the problems are good. And every time he gives you a problem, you solve it and then you grow. You become more skillful, more knowledgeable, you become wiser, you become stronger, you become everything that you want to be, all because you said you were going to. And now you are being handed the problems that in the moment don't seem like problems that you want in your life, but in hindsight, they are the problems that turns you into the man that you are meant to be. So live life like it's your film, it's your series, it's your show, and every time a problem occurs, every time you find yourself in a situation that you don't like, this is a test from him to see if you pass, and you will, because you'll set your mind to it, and you'll grow from that, and you'll finally start molding into that man that you were always destined to become.